Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is June 7th, 2023, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the Turkish Lira does it again and tumbles versus US dollar. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. But looking at today's major economic events out of Canada at 4 p.m. South African time, we have a Bank of Canada rate statement, which is an interest rate decision by the Central Bank of Canada. Now, looking at today's Forex symbols, we're watching the major pairs just slightly lower versus US dollar. And as we look at the indices, summer session is already in session. Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both really unchanged. And as we look at the commodities, both gold and oil also looking unchanged as the markets are sliding into summer. And looking at the stocks, Amazon slowly pushes higher. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin bounces back. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. Let's start with the Turkish Lira, and you can see this is a 30-minute chart. And this morning we got a gap up and go. So we've gone over 1 full point versus the dollar, from the Turkish Lira to the dollar, going from 21.58 to 22-ish, 23 now. Unbelievable. Really unbelievable. I mean, we've been watching this over the past couple of weeks, and just watching over the past couple of weeks, we went from 18-ish up to 23. Now, like I said before, this is making new lows for the year. As it's making new lows, it continuously can create new lows. Now, at a certain point, yes, it's going to correct itself. But what is that point? Until it proves us otherwise, the law of motion states is going to continue going in this type of direction. So keep this in mind looking at today. Looking at the euro, just slightly lower versus US dollar, nothing doing much. Looking at the Canadian dollar today, this is important because there's a lot of news coming out on it. It's been trading between a range, right? And we're going back to the bottom of the range. And so I just want to respect its levels, because as long as it doesn't breach the levels, it's going to honor it, which means we'll most likely bounce off of this 134-ish level. And if we don't, we're going to break lower significantly, maybe to the 130-ish level as well. So keep that in mind, as this is also correcting itself. Jumping into gold, not doing much here. 1956, got just a few points off from yesterday. Oil, also unchanged day to day. Now jumping to the U.S. markets, also unchanged, really day to day, not doing much, as it has been like over the past couple of days, just sideways trading. Okay. Now this is also because there's a big FOMC rate statement next week. And also this is summer trading. So summer trading, generally speaking, is much lighter volume and not as much character, not as much volatility as a result of it. Now jumping into the NASDAQ, also just hanging out here, not retracing. I mean, this is kind of weird because compared to where we were last year, we were much more aggressive range in the indices than we are right now. Now looking at the individual stocks, and this is really interesting. Amazon, I'm going to pull this up. Amazon just keeps on slowly but surely pushing higher and higher. I mean, it retraced yesterday just a tad, but this keeps on pushing higher. This is really very interesting because, I mean, if we look at a daily, we are not at all-time highs. We're not at all-time highs. We still have some room to go at 146. But it's looking promising, okay? Whereas Microsoft and Facebook were the ones that took us higher, you know, there's a little bit of rotation in the markets. You got to get a little bit creative and kind of get into a selective mode. Now, Tesla pushing higher to 221, that's really important because that's also a stock that has made a big comeback, okay? A very big comeback to where we were earlier. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, as it had a roller coaster of a day from yesterday to today. We went down to 25,000. We came right back up. Okay, there's not much to say about it. It's just really just trading very choppy. Not a lot of character here, but it is trading. So just keep that in mind. If you're able to day trade it and just take that quick, you know, on the upside and just chase it a little bit, if that's your game, that's your game. But you do want to know what's going on with Bitcoin. The point of this entire daily review is just to give you a broad scheme of what is happening in the markets and to focus you on some of the things that potentially could happen. And so with Bitcoin, it's just very choppy. Okay, so you gotta just, if you do decide to trade it, gotta just apportion yourself and just prepare yourself for that. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.